Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last match for week 5 here. And this is going to be an important series as well. Cignal Ultra taking on Galaxy Racer for the best of 3. Denog, how are we doing tonight? We're both shirted up. It's a beautiful night.
Wearing my, I think this is Politics or something like that. Very nice shirt. But yeah, it's an important series. Like you mentioned, Cignal Ultra, they're sitting at, I want to say 4-2 right now. Their series score, so guaranteed staying up in the lower division. No risk of relegation. Same with Galaxy Racer with their win yesterday against Hoyo. They guaranteed that they were going to, 2 days ago, that they were going to be staying up as well. But again, like Cignal wins, they're guaranteeing at minimum they're going to be playing a tiebreaker to be able to go up into the upper division. So very big stakes for them. And Galaxy Racer, they're not out of it yet entirely either. If they win, they still have the potential to go up to that upper division, but they need some other results to go their way. So it's going to be a hotly contested series. Cignal came out of the blocks really strong. They faltered a little bit, and I think that's because of their drafting. Let's see if they're able to bring it back and start to execute the unique Cignal style that we really know.
Yeah, we were a bit, I don't know if, we'll go with disappointed. I think that series versus Mega was very hyped up, but it kind of just fell short, and Mega just proved to be a bit too much of a powerhouse for Cignal, and we saw the issues in the draft, and this is one of the heroes that they were picking up a decent amount. There's nothing wrong with the Earthshaker, but they got punished in the regards where they don't have ways to be able to deal with the lanes, and that was a big issue, and we're already seeing 2 heroes. So Denog, do you want to walk us through some of the nerfs that we got actually really recently in 7.28c?
Yeah, so for people that aren't aware, it was about 2 or 3 hours ago that the 7.28c mini patch dropped, and it's all nerfs, no buffs in that patch, just basically saying, look, all these heroes that are, towards the top of the meta, let's bring them back to the pack a little bit. So I want to see if some other heroes come into the fold, but Earthshaker's one of them. Fisher Shard, Aftershock, Replication, now stuns for half duration. Now, with the wording for that, I haven't had a chance to test it, but when it says Replication, I'm not sure if that's specific for Morphling, or if that's just talking about the stun when the Fisher Shard is coming into the equation. So Aftershock, instead of doing I want to say it's 1.5 seconds stun, it just does 0.75 from the maxed out Aftershock. We shall see. But a few of the other big ones are Batrider. Now, Sticky Napalm does 50% less damage against all creeps, so they already nerfed his Ancient Taking ability. Now it's just all creeps altogether. Other big ones is Keeper of the Light. The recall delay is slightly slower, so you can't move around the map quite as fast. Morphling, just on his own, the level 18 morph cooldown is now 60 seconds instead of 40, so you're never going to have basically 100% uptime. And then the one last one, which is really important for mine, is Nyx Assassin, where Vendetta no longer applies break when it hits. So that really prevented teams from going a lot of these different strategies. Now Nyx feels like much more of a niche hero that you can't just pick in the first phase.
Yeah, I think that ban was super surprising, getting rid of the break there, and it's intriguing that Ozfrog just is like, all right, this is a full nerf coming out to a lot of the meta heroes, and I'm intrigued to see how it's going to shape up as well. I'm also intrigued to see if there's going to be another slight mini patch coming up before the Singapore Major. We're still a couple of weeks away. Yeah, honestly, who knows? This could definitely be it. And how is this going to shape up the meta?
Well, you talk about the Singapore Major. We have to remember that China's been on a break for the past week, and they've still got a week left on a break, I believe. So they are going to be playing games right up towards the end, and honestly, in terms of getting to the Singapore Major, it might be a little tough for them. There's not really that much time to be able to arrange your visas, and with everything going on with the whole COVID situation and potential quarantine, who knows? Maybe they're just going to be playing in their hotel. But I don't know the situation. Thankfully enough for Cignal, they have somewhat learned their lesson. No Lycan, no Beastmaster. They're just not going to get pushed, and I'm very happy to see it.
Yeah, I like the adaptation that they've come through into this draft. You do see, though, Galaxy Racer, they get one of the strongest morph combos as well. We see the morph Earthshaker, and a lot of times recently we've seen the Morphling and the Spirit Break, and I'd say that's also one of the better ones. I think you could even include the Earth Spirit in there, but we've seen games where this can this can take over once you get that Aghanim's level 18. It is still interesting though, because yes, they nerfed the cooldown. It got rescaled from when it's maxed out.
To 60,
yeah, but at least when you have that scepter, that's going to still reduce the morph cooldown by 20 seconds. So you still will have, I think it's only like a 4-second downtime on it. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it does remove a little bit of your, like, especially when you're going the Spirit Breaker style, just being able to move constantly around the map everywhere. I think that's still obviously going to be a heavy factor to, you know, our Cignal going to be able to navigate properly.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm keen to see how they look to run this, because Eris typically is the Shadow Demon player for Cignal Ultra, but they've already got the Earthshaker picked up, so it definitely seems like that's obviously more of the traditional way to go about things. Earthshaker, I don't think, is anywhere near strong enough as a position 5 unless you've got a really lane-independent core, like, I don't know, maybe a Troll Warlord, which does all right. So we'll see. Shadow Demon much more likely to be the 5, I suppose. It just hasn't been how Cignal have gone about shaping their drafts up until this point. I thought Destrus was fantastic, by the way, on his Rubik the other day. He straight up carried. And he's repping the OPA as well, the Oceanic Players Association Guild. He's one of 10 remaining. And he's doing us proud.
Repping the boys, and with, I mean, how good of a Rubik game it already looks at the moment. Man, Fissure's great to steal, all the puck abilities are great to steal, and he had an incredible performance, like you mentioned previously. And I'm intrigued to see what they want to pair the Rubik with in the lane. They pick up the Void Spirit. They've got some flexibility here. KYXY can definitely play it in the off lane, or if they wanted to give it to Nico in the mid as well.
Phantom Assassin.
PA, huh? Just wanting to get really aggressive, I suppose. Trying to dodge out some of the burst damage that they're eventually going to go into just with the blur. I mean, Void Spirit, if you do jump on him and get that instant catch, he is very squishy. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Just try and take away the potential for him to, you know, snowball into the later stages of the game. But when you think about it, PA is just going to be sitting back jungling for the majority of the time. You know, you're going to have to go as this roaming gank squad of Shadow Demon, Park, Earthshaker. You're always going to have great pickoff and great setup. But I don't know. I don't know if these timings work perfectly for the PA.
So is there a position 3 they can go here now for Cignal to kind of help with the timings?
Team ban. Radiant team ban.
I mean, something that's just going to be able to roam in general?
Yeah, because it looks like a PA needs a space, right? And you've got decent stuns. You do kind of lack ways to be able to take objectives. I wonder if you could even think about like a Furion getting picked up. Rubik Void Spirit can kind of deal with the waves relatively decent, but I feel like you need some way to take these objectives early and just limit the pressure that the enemy team can dish out to the PA.
You do, but Furion, I think, is still a little bit squishy. Like, their lineup is not tanky at all right now on Cignal, whereas you've got, you know, a Spirit Breaker, you've got a Morphling with his adaptive, his Replicate and his Morph strength, and Void Spirit's pretty tanky. So I think Tidehunter is perfectly fine. Honestly, the Doom was probably the best option for them, just because it's great against Void Spirit and the Morphling. Magnus, I think, was just to remove that PA Mag combination from the pool, but I think Tide is fine enough.
Now, is there any possibility that this is a tied mid versus the Void Spirit?
Slight possibility. I mean, they do play it on.
Come on, give me
little bit.
Give me the Tide core. We've seen it previously, and
it crushed.
Yeah, it crushed indeed. Man, what a good Viper game. PA tied for the break. That's you are gonna be feeling nice about that.
Yeah. Even just the aftershock, you know, if the Earthshaker's broken, then you actually don't get that stun damage coming through. So I feel like Viper as well is another hero that's going to jump back up the priority order, because now you've removed a big source of break in the game now that the Vendetta break mechanic has been removed. So, you know, we might be seeing some more Viper, whether it's in the off lane or the safe lane or the mid lane. Who knows? It's just going to be very player dependent, but I think against a PA, you're totally fine with this.
How are we feeling with this game on? Because it's a pretty important series, like we highlighted at the start before the draft got underway. Is there a team we're favoring to take this game on?
I think if they did exactly what you said with putting the Tide mid and the puck against the Morphling, I would have felt a lot more bullish about Cignal, just because, you know, you're going to be able to be very strong in that mid lane against the Void Spirit. And I mean, realistically, when are you ever going to get an Anchor Smash off onto this Morphling in the off lane? So
no.
I feel like Jamesy might have been able to get some, you know, you get a clever Waning Rift off, you silence up the Morphling while he's a bit too agi shifted, maybe you get a kill on him, and that really slows down a lot of their timings. So because they haven't done that, I'm probably going to go Galaxy Race's way.
And what's the yeah, I'm worried that the Morphling is going to be able to get out of the laning phase pretty easily here. You know, the Earthshaker is not the strongest laning support. You can do a lot to manipulate the creep wave, but I feel like Tide's not going to really be able to have a lane where you can deal with the Morphling. And could they try lane, go aggro, but then you don't want to put the Tide solo? Like, you've got a Viper in such a good matchup with whoever lanes, so they don't really care. Like, if Viper goes solo versus Tide, if he lanes versus the PA, so I don't
care.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this Viper pick. It's really good, just all throughout.
It does feel like, though, they might lack, like, the Void Spirit and the Spirit Breaker are going to be the ones just running around constantly, super active. We've seen this constantly, and how was Cignal going to be able to deal with that? There's a bit of an issue with the stun catch at the moment to deal with the puck. It's just the telekinesis right now from the Rubik, and until the Void Spirit gets the Eul Scepter. So puck might have a bit of a window where Jamesy can make some plays and then start to really influence this game one. But yeah, I like Galaxy Race's draft.
I think really early on, Puck doesn't quite have that same level of maneuverability, right? Because, you know, you're probably not going to have a blink. You're not going to have the more than just a Eul Scepter, let's say. And so, you know, maybe when we get into the, you know, mid-game, it might be Nico having an Ag Scepter instead, for example, or an Orchid. And Puck's not one of those heroes that likes to build a BKB. So unless you get that super early Eul Scepter, which I think is probably going to be the case, you're not going to be able to withstand a lot of this early pressure that's coming out, even though they're lacking a little bit of stuns. One of the weaknesses that I do see from Galaxy Race's draft is their AoE damage is basically non-existent. It's almost entirely on the Void Spirit, and I guess a little bit the Rubik. So I think I'm going to be looking at Destrus this game to really secure some of these high priority spells. And, you know, we talked about that when it was picked, there was always some great things to steal. The Dream Coil, the Waning Rift, the Fissure. You've even got the Ravage now on top of that. So we've seen that he was able to steal them a couple of times. Let's see if he's able to keep that up.
You see at the moment that Cignal starting with the tribe top trying to get that first blood, and they're pretty aware right now from Galaxy Race. You see how Alacrity's playing. They haven't seen the support for the Shadow Demon, so they're like, alright, you know, we got to be pretty careful here. And well, it just looks like both position ones aren't going to get too much farm until the supports show in the lane, and they finally will.
He shows. And immediately, yeah, there he's like, oh, it's safe now. He's, yeah, the Tide Hunter's been able to get a few last hits in that time, but I think that's the price that you're willing to pay to make sure that, I mean, you've been gimped a little bit, but PA also has got, well, now just one last hit. She's going to get a second now from this range creep, but Alacrity getting dived a little bit here.
He's only level 1 still as well, and Van should just be able to chase him down. Oh, the creep's also bloody blocking up the Morphling. Salve though.
Yeah, plant that tree. He owns that. Good idea to. Does end up cancelling the salve like you. This is what we want to see though. Just the harass coming out from Eris.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, Destrus to make sure he's tanking up the majority of these tower hits. Might be able to turn this
Poison,
around
yeah,
even,
it's
but
up to
that's
5
stacks.
now. Jesus heavily here is going to get punished, but yeah. So he's going to be able to feel relatively happy coming back to the lane with 450 gold. The Viper does have the urn now, can get kills. Destrous level 3, this solo experience could be pretty nice here because you're going to have that extra little burst in the Fade Bolt. And Viper's about to hit level 3 as well with the creeps coming through. So Cignal Ultra have to be careful they don't feed another kill in the next minute or so.
It's real nice. And as well, on top of that, even able to get the Observer Ward from that. So nice sentry usage there by Grims just to make sure they're constantly blocking this off. The reason they even died in the first place with KOXY, as he hits up onto that level 3, these stacks are starting to build up.
The damage that's just skyrocketing through. Looks like he's okay, but man, this is a lane where the PA is not going to get a whole lot of farm, and now it really feels like we've seen what happens if PA is a hero that can be very slow throughout the early game. You want to go back, farm up the jungle, get that Battle Fury, and it feels like you've got a Tide who's now pretty heavily countered by the Viper, so your tankiness effect throughout the early to mid game is going to be very much nulled out because the Viper, and then it really feels like on Jamesy to be able to have a super amount of impact to make space for the PA. It's early on, so I don't want to be too grim, but like it could definitely get out of hand. It's only 7 last hits for a bat, and I feel like it's just going to get worse.
Absolutely. As we see Destrous, he's going to secure the bottom side. A little bit of lack of communication coming through actually there. So 343 ends up picking up that Invis rune. Doesn't go Signal's way, but wasn't really much reason for Nico to go towards that bottom side. He might have been able to secure it for himself. But yeah, I want to see how many times KOXY actually tries to dive under this tower, because with that poison attack, if you're left-clicking and then left-clicking on the hero with it, then it doesn't actually draw the tower aggro, so he could go for a number of different dives against this PA.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about the attack modifier. It's not dragging the aggro for the tower there. Got the level 6 is about to come through from the mid lane, so we are going to start to see the rotations, and maybe if we would have a big battle around the bounties, that's about to come back up as well. Just trying to fall back. You see Neat going along with the puck. Try and make a stack. There's already a nice double, and that's going to be a triple right now for James at the small, so he's going to be pretty happy here for the puck. He's going to be able to get a nice little extra chunk of gold while he's secured the bounty. Very even right now between the mid matchup.
I feel like he's doing this, like, normally you might want to save this until the 7-minute mark, just so you can pick up as many neutral items as possible, but I think he just needs that level 6 potential ASAP, you know, it's not about people rotating to his lane, he just needs to make sure he's getting to these other lanes as quickly as possible. He's taking a good amount of harass, though. I like this from Nico. It doesn't enable James to make this stuff happen.
Drops the
misses the coil!
Okay.
That was a really delayed coil.
Yeah, he's like maybe playing with some ping issues. Who knows? Just got a massive spike there or something. But a lot of damage can come through from the Void Spirit. Like Jamesy doesn't have too much armor, so that Astral Step will do a decent chunk there.
Yeah, and you have a look at the actual net worth as opposed to the last hits. It's the position 1 cores on both sides that are actually the lowest in terms of, you know, core net worth so far. So I think that's why Jamesy was really wanting to prioritize those levels ASAP. Make sure you rotate up to that top lane. Morphling has very little in terms of stats. It's just about being able to sustain himself in the lane here with the Morbid Mask now, as we are probably going to look to see 343 do a lot more rotating.
Yeah, once you're able to get the Morphling to this stage, he's able to farm a lot safer than earlier on. You've got some sustained. Once you get a lot of extra points up in the attribute shift, you can definitely play the lane by yourself, and sometimes you can even solo the lane depending on the enemy team's off lane, but Tide's a bit more difficult to just harass him out.
Yeah, and you mentioned before about the fact that they got a really quick earn on KOXY. Haven't even attempted to really go for any kills to make that start to really be a factor in this early to mid game. So if I was Galaxy Racer, I would be directing 343 to start moving towards this bottom side. Make sure you at least get the 1 kill, get those 2 charges when the urn is empty. I think it's just scouting out some potential ancients. Gets a nice sentry ward down there. Actually charge it up top. It's got a little deeper on Van, but he's
they need a
healthy
TP.
enough.
Too tanky right now on the Tide Hunter, so he's even going for the hood. The first item here for Van, so try and tank him up against a lot of the magic damage that Galaxy Racer have.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got the Kraken Shell, of course, but realistically, almost all of the damage coming through from Galaxy Racer is magical, until you get at least, I would say, Skadi. Morphling isn't really a right-clicker that you need to be worried about.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those hybrid carries that has two types of damage that you're able to dish out at any stages in the game here. A lot earlier on, it's the magical, but so yet to see if they're able to get a power rune, then maybe these mid laners can start making the rotations, but it's just a constant threat. There's so much emphasis right now on the position 4s to secure the rune and really get that ability to limit the enemy's position 2 to not have as much impact. KYXY is pushed up a bit too far here. Level 6 as well, but they're already dishing out an immense amount of damage. Going to turn, drop the ultimate on top of the Nether Toxin as well. Phantom Assassin
charges coming
blinked in, and now Nico's going to join them as well. Viper died. But the consequence from Cignal Ultra, it's going to be 2 deaths. Jamesy shows up in return as well for the position 2 with Silence, along with the Orb. The damage, it's 0 at the moment, but Destros protects himself with the Wand. I don't believe the poison's going to be enough. It's only 3 charges, and it looks like Nico on 343. They still got to be careful. This is a level 3 poison, and it's stacking up an immense amount right now. They're actually going to turn to Jamesy, try and burst him down. They will be successful. Once again, Nico continuing for more. But another ultimate charge available going underneath the tower. They missed the fissure as well. A little bit uncharacteristic from Eris. And Nico, how is he juking? Oh my god. It's got enough mana for the Dissimulate as well, but where's the help?
He's dead.
I mean, Destros can't do much, but he's got a telekinesis. Oh, sure. Oh, Destros, no. You don't want to die yourself. Might have to, though.
In a second.
Eris? What? Nico survived. What a player, man.
Getting some real value after he came in as a stand-in around, what, week 3, I believe, was when he first started to come in there, so...
And that's a massive rotation. And he got healed back up as well. They'd probably expect him to go back to base, but he got selved up, full bottle charges available, and now Nico on 343 back down to the bottom side, and a bat, he's just going to die for the 3rd time this game. Nico giving them no opportunity for the Phantom Assassin to be able to find any farm in the safe lane.
Now, what's the puck going? It looks like he's finished up his power treads. I think you absolutely need to go for the Yule Scepter now. You can't be playing this super aggressive game style. It just needs to be about delaying the game enough that your heroes are going to come online.
Yo, XY. In trouble. 343's coming over. Will be a little bit too late. Viper's already going to... Oh, actually, puck disengages here in KYXY.
He's alive!
He keeps his life. So, again... The heroes on Galaxy Race are somehow surviving with a slither of HP.
And as well, on top of this, like, I talked about the need to go the Yule Scepter. That is because Nico is more than halfway towards his Ag Scepter already. He's having a fantastic game. 5-0-1. And it's just going to keep happening. Like, now that you've got a couple of these kills, the earn charges that start to stack up, they've ended up using them to be able to live in that fight as well as secure the kill onto Grims. But I mean, you can just see KYXY is playing with the rest of his team. He's getting closer to his own next big item in that Atos, and that definitely removes a lot of the elusive potential that you get out of this puck and the PA.
What do you want to see here from Cignal Orchard? Do they think they need to start actually grouping around the Tidehunter, which is probably their strongest hero in the game, maybe combined with the puck, but you know, Tide's got Ravage, he's got Hood, he's incredibly tanky. Or do you just put the Shadow Demon down bot, shove out the dead lane, just make space for the PA and have 3 heroes playing kind of 2 up top and 1 wrapping from mid to top?
I think you just have to play with this Tide. Like I said before, even though you've got these really strong heroes right now, you've had a fantastic start on Galaxy Racer, it's still got to be a rough time to kill the Tidehunter. I do like the fact that Eris, they've been giving him a little bit of farm in this mid lane, so now he's at least got his level 6, but they're just going to continue diving him.
You're okay, especially if Nico's going to miss the Remnant like that. And they've shown that they've gone a little bit too deep here, so Tide's going to TP in. No more extra backup, and again, the stuns at the moment difficult until they're able to get some levels and even having the extra hero. Puck's actually chasing up top, but Blackready replicates into the Earthshaker, gets the fissure, and they just melt through Eris before he gets the Echo Slam off. So a free kill on the Earthshaker in the mid lane. We do still see Cignal Ultra trying to bring the numbers just in case Galaxy Racer continue to group up around this objective, but they've got all 5 coming through.
I like the fact that Alacrity's going into this Manta style first. Of course, it's good against the puck just to be able to get out of the silence, but I feel like you're much more of a right-click threat as well when compared to rushing the E-Blade. You don't want to go all in onto the one type of damage, and you know, eventually, let's say PA goes an earlier than ideal BKB, then you know you're also kind of neutered in terms of your effectiveness. He's already finished up the Yasha, just continuing to farm away, making rotations when it suits him. Probably going to be at least until this morphs back off cooldown again.
A lot of time I see the Void Spirits going for like the triple null build when you're going for this Aghanims, because you're missing out on that mana regen from the Heal Scepter, but you see Nico doesn't even have any, and this is partially for the factor that he's got pretty lucky with the neutral items. He's got the Royal Jelly, he's got the Fairy's Trinket as well, so he's got a decent amount here to be able to sustain the mana, and well, they're back in on top of Eris, Earthshaker down bot. He's not going to get bursted down this time, so we'll allow for the rotations to come through, but still just not enough to really hold Galaxy Racer from being able to retreat away.
I like this as well. You want to make sure you're keeping up the constant pressure. I know Earthshaker was, you know, farming a lane, but you can't let him just have that for free. You want him to be in the jungle in a position that's away from the rest of his cores so that they can continue to die as they have been. There's that Atos.
Yeah, and now with the back as well, 343 is going to charge Eris to disrupt the Earthshaker, so he can't just run forward and drop the Echo. The coil is not going to be enough. Now they're still chasing as Nico from one side of the map to the other. Won't be enough to get the kill on top of the Earthshaker, but you see just the constant harassment and the assault that's coming out from Galaxy Racer that really making it difficult right now for Cignal to be able to protect the towers.
That damn turn rate preventing Shadow Demon from being able to turn around, use the disruption on the Spirit Breaker. He's just moving way too fast right now.
This is looking really rough right now for Cignal. I mean, they're down 3,000, and it feels like they get to a lot of stages where they just have to hope that the PA can find enough farm and turn this game back around.
It's that, PA getting farm, you're still 250 gold away from the Shaker Ags, which is, of course, Blink Dagger, which is, of course, going to be a big thing, but you know, you can see here, all he's doing right now is trying to take some camps. Is he going to even get this stack off? No, he's just taking any farm that he can. Will they get even 2 bounty runes? Well, with those bounties, it's enough to get Nico his Ags.
Looks like the Rubik's Rush in the Blink this game. Do you like the instant rush in the Blink instead of something like the Aethelins?
I feel like Aethelins is pretty important against this Tide Hunter, just to be able to get that Ravage off from a relatively safe distance. The Ravage Steal. You're not, like, once you get caught out by the puck, Aethelins doesn't really do much of anything, but then again, same sort of deal with the Blink.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So as I speak of the Tide Hunter, they've found it a little bit here.
Yeah, if they lock him in top of the Nether Toxin, you see, he's not going to feel too tanky, but the Blink reveal paired up with the coil. A nice combo, but it's just not enough. All they find is the Spirit Break, and Alacrity is going to show up as well with the Fissure stolen here from the Rubik. You see, these are the plays expected from Destrus over the past couple of days. He's stealing some important abilities, and even though that was a nice combo from Cignal Ultra, it just was not enough as Nico's hunting. The Aghanims completed, finds a 4th target underneath the tier 2 tower, and Galaxy Racer will break the mid lane here and continue to skyrocket in this net worth lead.
Oh, and taking away this Ancient stack. That's a big deal. You know, they've been able to find some space for Abad here. He TP's back to the mid lane, make sure he can quick up his Battle Fury as quickly as possible, but you're not going to have anything to farm, my friend. So really nice plays coming through from Galaxy Racer, and that was just the surprise of the Ag Scepter being revealed. You know, if they don't have that, they don't get that follow-up kill onto the puck. Yes, it's bad, but it's not unrecoverable. Now it very much feels like that, as they get the charge in onto Abad as well with these deep wards.
They know he's coming, Radiant. They've still got Ravage, but without the coil and the Echo Slam. Do they want to dive Abad, though?
10 seconds on coil.
But where they can fight, let's see, Cignal still grouping up. Looks like they're thinking about baiting the Phantom Assassin potentially. But Galaxy Racer not going to force the issue though, Void Spirit. He's in trouble here. Coil's going to break in now with the chain lockdown. Can they protect him? The Fissure from Destrus to cancel out any extra damage is not going to be enough. Now they're going to be careful because they're diving incredibly deep. And now with the Ravage clipping on top of 2, 3, 4, 3 is going to get punched. with Alacrity and Destrus on top of the backline here for the Viper. His Switch is protected with the Nether Toxin, but it's not going to matter. Even though you get the break, they're still able to bring him down. Constant fissures from Eris protecting Cignal Ultra so they can jump on forward and bring down the Morphlink before he gets the attribute shift off. And Galaxy misplay there, just going a bit too.
About to say with Galaxy Racer, I hope the towers. I mean, how many times throughout the it's like they got a really strong laning stage. They've got the tower damage and the armor.
See, 343's got the follow-up as well, man. Nicely done. That's just that chain lockdown. And this is a big issue now because he's level 12. 0-0. We see the impact. There's so many good ability have one of those games that we see on there on this Rubik.
Oh, Nether Shawl now, so Alacrity is going to pick it up. Although that Pupil's Gift isn't too bad either. But
not like this. This PA just wants any little bit of farm she can get, but you see the ward freshly placed up top. Looks like he pinged it out, but then that's such a great ward.
You know, I talked about before with perhaps one of the weaknesses of their draft, it was very single target focused, not much in the terms of AoE, but if you're picking up the PA and they've got no way to transition into this later stages, it doesn't really matter.
I do not see how Cignal are going to be able to farm across the map now. You're going to have 343 just found Eris as well. Their vision right now just going from one target to the next. This is going to get really difficult, and it's already rough for them to farm. Just imagine when you've got a double Spirit Breaker, like we've seen time and time again. If you play anywhere across the map, you're going to have two heroes charging you in a span of 5 seconds. You've got a Void Spirit who's incredibly mobile and has had a great start as well, 7, 1, and 6. And then the Rubik too. You know, this is a hero who's got great catch potential and is going to continue to grow this game. So Cignal are going to have sentries and D-ward because there's no space right now for a bar.
Potentially, if they're able to catch Nico, I think the nighttime is going to be what saves it. If they had vision on him, they would have made that dive attempt there with the puck, being able to lock him down.
Another, like, do they want to go? You just see though, like, they see Grimm's is like, alright, I'm charging, I'm hungry. Just the bull man. Moo moo. Just chase him down.
Oh, Nico's been caught out a little bit here.
Taking a lot of damage as well. The core is about to expire. They have to even commit the Ravage as well. It does get stolen. Protected with a Shadow Element as well, so they can't find Destrus while he was stunned up. And now it looks like the rest of Galaxy Racer come over with the reinforcements. They want to punish Cignal Ultra. Side that river, Van. Gonna try and attempt the TP out. Is the charge there in time? It's not. So they do find the kill on top of the Void Spirit. That is a lot of gold. Who's going to pick that one up? It was Jamesy with 363, but you do see the Phantom Assassin dying again. 5 deaths here for a bar, and really struggling to find that second item in the space needed.
Yeah, PA dies, no Ravage. Now you've got Ravage as well on Galaxy Racer, so suddenly you've got a lot stronger team fight as opposed to just pick off. I think the play for them is just wait for this Void Spirit to be back online. You can see 343, he's just positioning himself in the mid lane, securing a couple of creeps, but it should be Void Spirit TPing, maybe into a smoke, and then just invading that triangle one more time. Or they might just push bot. That works as well.
With a 3,000 net worth lead at the moment here for Galaxy Racer in Game 1, you see the experience is very far in their favor, but what's the real play from Cignal? Is it just wait BKB on PA and take a fight when you have all your ultimates up? Because they do have very good team fight.
They do. It always feels so terrible when you go this second item BKB though on the PA. Who are they charging? They're charging the puck. I think it's just for maintaining vision to make sure there wasn't any TPs coming through. They end up taking that tier 2 tower. Not wanting the outpost just yet. I mean, it's going to be 8 minutes until, but I suppose it gives a good amount of information if Destrus is able to secure this one for himself.
They still got Ravage as well for 134 seconds here. So let's see how they're able to make a play with it for Galaxy Racer if they do want to smoke up. How close to any items are they? Nico's still a bit away from the BKB. Morphling pretty close to the E-Blade, however.
Who has the wards right now? No wards currently purchased in the inventory for Galaxy Racer. If I was them, I would look to put up a couple in the Radiant jungle, just because now you've taken away all of the safe ways for any kind of reinforcements to come. So you do that, you've got great maneuverability through the Spirit Breaker. You can quickly TP down to the outpost if anyone's out of position, and then just play on the top side of the map. You know, you get one pick off, that's a free Roche.
You see right now as well, Radiant, their vision around kind of their triangle and around the Roche pit, just making sure that there's, you know, if a fight breaks out, that they've got the information required to be able to come over, because they do definitely have a lineup where they can contest around a choke point. But well, unfortunately, the pipe, we saw Van had to go for that blink instead of completing the pipe. It is completed now though, 23 minutes in. Bart's about to have the BKB, so this is just what they're waiting for Cignal, and then they might feel a little bit more comfortable with taking engagement.
They do, and you can see Jamesy really is the only person that can look to farm down here, start to push out the waves a little bit. It might be a bit slow by Galaxy Racer, to be perfectly honest. You know, I feel like they have this big window where they can make something happen. When you've got level 2 Ravage,
that's just Ravage up top, and now Nico with the double up silence here. Van's going to try to counter-initiate. Is it up with the Yakuza follow-up as well? They're able to keep a bat alive, and Nico's in trouble. Gets it to simulate up to the southwestern side here, but still, Nico duking and jiving. He's got another Astral Step in a couple of seconds with the Arcane Rune as well. Eris running into him. Nico, what? They just leave him. Man, this dude's jukes this game. He's put on the shoes, and the fact that they just lost the Rubik there, they do a great job to keep the PA alive. That is a big thing.
They do, but I think that's more of a matter of where were the boys on Galaxy Racer's side. You know, I've got a Viper which is quickly able to take him down. You know, you put down that Nether Toxin, suddenly the blur isn't a factor anymore, and you get that extra damage that's needed to be able to kill him. Not getting it, gets away, and now that BKB is a factor. Has he got a Blightstone delivered as well? Okay, so a tiny bit more damage for a bite.
They actually catch out the Pulk before he gets a jaunt away, so James is going to fall. And this might give them an opportunity to come through the jungle. Bart's going to jump on 343, but he's able to turn. Bart pops the BKB, but it might be a little bit more of a defensive one. And then now TP out R3 finds a kill on 343, but it looks like the rest of Cignal Ultra won't have an escape mechanic built in thanks to their items, so Eris will pay the price. They also find another kill on top of the Shadow Demon.
And he's got the Purge as well.
Oh,
he stole it.
God. Man, Destra's getting a lot of great abilities this game.
Yeah. Just staying in his Shadow Amulet. No, he is not griefing. He's not just Shadow Amuleting and staying in the jungle. He's making sure to get those bounty runes as well. And you can see there, pick off, instant rush.
And you take a look, I see the item build coming through from 343. He's got the Shard actually queued up, which is an extra 200 damage with your Nether Strike, and it also applies a 4-second break, granting you spell immunity for 2 seconds. So that's going to be pretty interesting here.
The break and the spell immunity, so he's already got the BKB that he probably wants to finish before that, but just that little bit of extra never hurts.
Definitely does not. Uh-oh. Oh boy. One hero to the next. Shadow Demon is like, where can I play? Just where do I position this game? It feels so rough. The support against these heroes when you get off to a relatively decent start and you've got the map to be able to kind of be your playhouse really showing right now. We did get revealed though, so the Earthshaker does have the Ag Shot, so we'll see how that's going to come into effect, especially with the minor nerf that we saw.
It's much less chain stun. 343 might be in a bit of a vulnerable position here. Got a couple of heroes around actually, and now the freshly picked up Blink Dagger on top of the Ags and level 18 for the Puck, so this is a real strong point right now for Cignal Ultra. I think maybe they might be trying to wait for just this Desolator to come out on a Bard, but they're just not giving them space to wait. They're just taking every single tier 2 that they can.
Gee, Grooms is level 9. Not a fun game. Yeah, you really do. I mean, if you can get to that 10 extra cast range, even though it's 75, you'll take whatever you can get on a squishy hero that has to be very far in the back line. And you see a Bart. What is he? He's so far up. He was farming mid by the remnants of their own T1 tower, so he just has to pop the BKB, and that's definitely something what a PA doesn't want to waste a 9-second charge like that.
And, you know, they're feeling a lot more confident now at Galaxy Racer. Why not? Alacrity's like, well, no BKB. I've still got the Aegis for the next 3 minutes. Let's just take a tier 2 tower.
I think you definitely try and take this tier 2 and then farm for the next minute, because he's super close to the Ags. Needs about 650 gold. Once you get that, yeah, BKB will come back off cooldown by then for the PA, but I think that item's going to be massive here. Don't need to rush.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
PA's got the Deso.
Dire's
else,
bottom
though.
tower is under attack.
BKB, Battle Fury, Deso. It still doesn't feel enough to be able to make something significant happen. Oh, that is a real nice item coming through, the Titan Sliver for Alacrity. So now, all this stun, all this lockdown, even though you've got the Ag Scepter on the puck, it's just slightly less effective.
Yeah, one of the few things that's able to give you that status resistance now, one of the broken concepts in Dota, and Morph's going to be pretty happy about that, especially with the rest that you get from it. The 20% base attack damage you got to love, a little bit of magic resistance. A great neutral item right now for the Morph. But they're coming outside the base. The Fissure sets up. PA's going to jump on forward, but now with the counter up. Nico's able to join them. They drop the BKB from Bat, but a bit of a skewed up start to the fight. It's now with the counter initiation. Van's going to drop the Ravage. It does get stolen. Now Gesture's waiting for the opportunity to be able to jump on forward. Van, he's in trouble. Brought down in the Nether Toxin here, still about a third HP to be able to utilize here from the Tide, and they're chasing down to the southern side. They deal with the first live, continue up the high ground. Nico, along with 343, chasing through Grims. Nico's been able to have this fight with an Arcane and a Haste Rune as well.
I don't waste my time.
They have to back out. Again, you're fine with this. They didn't have too much left on the Roshan timer. You were able to steal Ravage. Now they don't have Ravage. No Dream Coil available for next 30 seconds. He's just trying to farm up as much as he can, Jamesy. In the dire jungle right now, but the base is going to start to be pressured
they got
shortly, and they found a bot.
Oh man, Nico, that TP down bot. They just found the PA before the TP. That was a millisecond away. But, I mean, it might be able to get 343, but no, even Destro's going to come over. All the goons showing up. PA getting no love this game. And he... Uh-oh.
He's gone.
Going for? Just creep.
On the high ground, they ping it out. I don't think they have a way to scout it just yet, other than just been holding the Shadow Amulet the whole time. Not even a Glimmer Cape, just, you know, being able to be a bit more elusive.